Hi, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Kuala Lumpur and Selangor Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries Zoom session. We are delighted to welcome everyone here today on this public holiday. You have spent your time to hear to this important topic. And we have a very good session today with our good speaker, Mr. Mohan. And also we have a very good information to be shared with all of our SMEs. Well, currently it's really a trying times for all the SMEs in doing businesses, especially during the EMCO and lockdown that has made the businesses to suffer a lot. Nevertheless, today's program that we have today is on MATRADE's market development grant on the newly expanded scope of our program here, of the newly expanded scope that I'll be briefing through shortly. And without further ado, we will start the program officially. I would like to welcome our Deputy President, Mr. T. Selvam, who's here today, do the official opening. And then we have our ESCO members, Vice President Dr. Nawamani, our other ESCO members, council members, participants, especially, and also our great speaker, Mr. Mohan Kodiwil, Director of Adastra International Property, Sendirian Berhad, who's with us also today. And all those IP enthusiasts who's very keen to actually look into this very seriously. I think we have a very good funding today or subsidy by the government through MATRADE, which is the Trade Export Promotion Agency under the Ministry of International Trade and Industry. So before we start the program by the speaker, let's have a welcoming speech by our Deputy President, Mr. T. Selvam.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Members of Kuala Lumpur Selangor Indian Chamber of Commerce, non-members, Indians, non-Indians businesses, Malaysians as a whole. Welcome to our KLCK Zoom session, MATRADE MDG grant, Market Development Grant today, and specifically on intellectual property of SMEs. Okay, I also would like to welcome our speaker, a very experienced speaker, Mr. Mohan Kodiwil, Director of Adastra Intellectual Property, Sendirian Berhad. Mr. Mohan, a little bit about him. He is no other than also our senior member of Kuala Lumpur Selangor Indian Chamber of Commerce. And he has assisted many years on this subject on international property. He has helped us to chambers to also secure grants before. And he's a very close friend of most of us. Welcome, Mr. Mohan, speaker. Good to have you here today. Thank you very much. And then I also thank you, moderator, Mr. Niwas, our Honorary Secretary General, Kuala Lumpur Selangor Indian Chamber. I wish to also introduce our Kuala Lumpur Selangor, a brief about Kuala Lumpur Selangor Indian Chamber of Commerce. We were founded in 1928, around 93 years ago. We are located at Jalan Tukar Brahman in Kuala Lumpur. We have our own building, a 4-story building. We have a full secretariat with us, full-time staffs with us. And we can say we are one of the largest, the most, the best, I can say, that to serve the Indian business community. We are the biggest chamber in Malaysia. And we represent in many organizations. And then we have an active member of about 800 members and associate members around 3,000 members. And various associations like Restaurant Association, Metal Trade, all these trade associations are also with us. Okay, briefly, I would like to introduce our president is Dr. Ramanathan. He's the president, I'm the deputy president. My name is Selvam. And then we have a vice president, Dr. Nawamani, and then our honorary secretary general, Mr. Niwas, our moderator today. And then we have our treasurer, Mr. Kumaraguru. We have elected 18 council members. We are also assigned to many portfolios. Every 18 of us carry a portfolio. like what our moderator, Mr. Nivas, is in charge of, is a chairman for the Industrial Revolution 4.0 committee. I personally I chair the entrepreneur development, and also I chair all the districts, 9 districts in Selangor and also Kuala Lumpur. And we have International Trade Committee also chaired by Mr. Kamal Kamda. You all know Kamda, CEO. And our council, it also the committee share their domestic trade chairman and many other portfolio they carry. So we serve the business community as a whole in various aspects. And then today, I welcome all these participants today, even though during this pandemic time, everybody are going through tough time, they're very sad situations, many of our close loved ones might have left. And whatever it is, we have to prepare ourselves to come through this pandemic. And then we have to prepare ourselves. There is always light after the tunnel. I think after we should prepare ourselves now. I think this program today, the MDG grant and intellectual property SMEs, is very important that we prepare ourselves. This is the best time. Most of us are working from home to upgrade our business, get our brands registered or get a trademark and all that. I think our speaker today has a vast experience who can share about that. And then I also like to give a little bit of experience about Chamber over the years. About this MDG grant. We have brought delegation to overseas exhibition. We have participated in exhibition and all that. And we have claimed before all this MDG grant from MATRADE, And there are various, this MDG grant, there's various other benefits, which I can share, like participating in international trade fair, investment mission, international conference, listing free in a supermarket, hypermarket, in boutiques and in overseas where you can claim. Okay, even our chamber as an NGO, we claim for our staffs who coordinate this event, who follow us for the international mission. We even claim through this MDG grant for our staffs. These are a few things that that MDG grant can give. And then also during this pandemic time, I think MATRADE has also introduced some pandemic reimbursement benefit from 1st January to 14 July, like your logistic costs, or you already spent your money booking for international exhibition and all that has been cancelled. Such an event, you can reimburse, you can apply to reimburse from it. These are a little bit about MATRADE grant, but what we have experienced through our KLCK, Kuala Lumpur Selangor. Okay, finally, I would like to say, I hope all members, all participants here today will benefit from today's program. I hope our speaker today with his vast experience will share everything, all this knowledge, what he has on this subject. And I think today we go away with some benefits so that we also can, many of our participants today can look into seriously on this international property, which will be another stepping stone for your business. Okay, I welcome everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Selvam. Thank you for your wonderful opening speech that gives a brief overview about KLCK and also the MDG. Well, before we welcome the speaker, just a brief overview on this MDG. Well, it is for your good information to all the ladies and gentlemen. This MDG was actually introduced on 2002 by MATRADE for all the exporters, for all the physical events like international trade fairs, exhibition, trade and investment mission, conferences overseas, listing fees, formulation products in supermarkets or hypermarkets and overseas. And then during last year, it has been also expanded during the COVID because the restriction was probably prohibited to cross the border. Virtual events were incorporated, especially virtual international trade fair, B2B meetings virtually. And then recently, on the June 17th, a new approval was given for an expanded scope Well, this was only implemented 15th of July last week by MATRADE. And KLCK decided to immediately disseminate this important information to all the SMEs nationwide. And these five most additional activities that has been expanded is firstly for the cancellation or postponement of trade fair exhibition that the SMEs has registered or paid for. The second thing is for the reimbursement of the logistic cost for overseas export purpose, and then international certifications for export purpose. And then the most important one is for the registration of intellectual property for international market, that today our speaker will highlight very, very clearly on how to capitalize on this. And then lastly, one of the other areas that the MDG is covering today is for the advertising and promotion, especially for the digital marketing for export purpose. So all these five additional scope has been incorporated for the next 6 months till January 2022. So Mr. Mohan, I would like to give a brief introduction about Mr. Mohan before he takes over. Mr. Mohan is our esteemed KLCK member for over 15 years, and he has vast experience in intellectual property for over 20 years, and he is the director of Adastra International Properties Sdn Bhd, a well-versed IP man that I would say that can facilitate our SMEs for your intellectual property for copyright, patenting, and also trademarking. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Mr. Mohan to actually address our program today, and thereafter our Q&A will take on during the flow of the program, or you have any other Q&A, you can just post in the chat box. We will address it on an ad hoc basis or towards the last of the program. Okay, thank you very much for your patience, and we will start the program officially now with Mr. Mohan taking over. Thank you, Mr. Mohan.
Thank you, Mr. Niwas. Good afternoon, everyone. And I would also like to say a special thanks to Mr. Selvam. It's been a long time I've not seen you, but a very good friend of mine, indeed. Today, I'll be talking about two topics mainly. One is I'm going to give an introduction to intellectual property. And then the second part of my talk will be on the MATRADE grant, MDG grant. I'm sure most of y'all are more interested in my second part of the talk, but just bear with me. Let me just give you a brief introduction of why IPs are important for SMEs. And this is the best time. I mean, the government has just given out this fund, and this fund is assisting somewhat to take part of your cost for filing your IPs overseas. It's mainly for IPs overseas. So let me just start off by just giving you an introduction. I mean, you've heard of this word intellectual property. You've also heard of the word patents, trademark, copyright, industrial design several times. Sometimes you might just get a bit lost, what does this really mean? I mean, I hear so many things and then it's all about protection, but what's the difference? I do not know whether anyone in the audience actually know the difference between intellectual property, patents, trademark, copyright, industrial design. I hope at the end of this 15 minutes or 20 minutes of my talk, you would be able to differentiate the terms, these terms. Next slide, please. Let me start off by just giving an overview. I mean, what intellectual property means, just like the name, intellectual property. Intellectual, so when you have an intellectual creation, and your ideas can be in various forms. I mean, you're a businessman and you want to set up a new business, or you may be a musician, you want to come up with a new song, or you might write a new lyric, or you might be an artist coming up with a new sculpture or a new painting. Whenever you come up with this intellectual creations of yours, what this happens is maybe we'll make it into a property of yours, intangible property, an intangible asset of yours by protecting it. So the various different type of ideas that you may have will have different forms of protection. And that's where patents, trademark, copyright, and all comes in. Let me start off by explaining what trademark is first. Next slide, please. Where trademark is concerned, I mean, every single business have a trademark. There's no business without a trademark. Every business will have. There was once I was giving a talk and I said, I just made a statement, and then there was a contractor out there who said, no, but we are contractors and we don't really have a trademark. We don't need a trademark. And I did not really agree with him, because you see, even even some of the big developers would have started off as a contractor, and then once they get a name, and then they would have become a developer eventually, because everybody knew this contractor is really good. He delivers whatever he says, so he moves up the value chain and he becomes a developer eventually. So not necessarily, I mean, just because you're a contractor, that doesn't mean you don't have a name. One of the most famous contractors, I would say, is Wat Chukang. You know, I mean, when I give a talk in audience, I can actually see the reaction. Now I can't really see much reactions. I mean, Wat Chukang is a contractor as well, but he's a comedian, no doubt about it. I'm just making a bit of a joke, but he's a very well-known contractor. So there's a brand also attached to him. Now, the trademark can be in many forms. It can either be a logo, it can be a name, it can be a signature, it can be a color even now. It can even be a sound. Malaysia now even protects sound as a trademark. So if you have a Harley Davidson sound and you protect it, then another person can't really have a motorbike that sounds like that. Now, how are they really going to be able to distinguish one another? I'm not so sure, but anyway, they do have ways of actually protecting the sound and also color. So you would be able to protect various forms of trademarks. Even a tagline can also be protected as a tagline. For example, the city that never sleeps by Citibank, or now everybody can fly. Another tagline by AirAsia is also a trademark of AirAsia. Next slide, please. So what makes a powerful brand? What makes a good trademark? The answer would be, you can't really get the answer. Next, just click again, please. The answer, you really won't find the answer. And let me just explain why. One of the most important things that you need to do is you must always use your logo in a consistent way. If you're going to call something MCI, make sure it's always called MCI. It can't be MCI at one moment and then MCII at another moment. People will get confused. So one of the most important things in when you're developing your brand or your logo, you must always have a consistent use of it. If you can have a special font also for it and special color, that's great. I mean, just like AirAsia again, I'm just going to use that example. I mean, they've got a special font, a special color. Even if you see they write another word, but with that font and that color, you'll straight away think it's linked to AirAsia because of the usage, the consistent usage. Next slide, please. Click again. Yeah, again, please. Okay, what makes a great trademark? So this is what the book says, but I'm also going to dispel some of this. I mean, I'm not going to agree because I also said earlier, what makes a powerful trademark? And I said, you really can't get the answer, and I'm explaining why here. Okay, the name should be, the next, click again, it must be memorable. So whenever you get a name, when you choose a name for your trademark, make sure it's memorable. Another, click again, please. Now, they also say it must be easy to pronounce, but not necessarily at times. Click again. If you look at this word, it's not so easy to pronounce. Maurice, I mean, anybody knows, I mean, some of them, when I have an audience with me and I ask some of them, they might say Maurice Lacroix or something, but it's actually Maurice Lacroix. It's not an easy word to pronounce, but it's doing very well. It's a Swiss watch. There was also once this fragrance, air refreshener, and they used to call it MB Pure. There was a marketing gimmick itself on how do you pronounce it, because people were not sure whether it's MB Pure or MB Pur, but they even had a marketing gimmick on how to pronounce the word. So the word was very difficult to pronounce, but it's quite a well-known brand. The next, click again, please. Now, the other thing they also say, you know, to get a good trademark, you also, apart from memorable, it must be easy to pronounce. They also say it must be easy associated to the products and services. Now, if I can ask the audience over here, what is a very well-known sardine brand? What's a well-known sardine brand? I'm quite sure in Malaysia, what's a well-known sardine brand? You see, as I said, I can't really get any response here because I'm not really talking to the audience, but I believe one of the words that would have come to your, or one of the brands that would have come to your mind is Ayam. Okay, I can see someone is actually mentioning Ayam. Many are actually saying Ayam brand. Very good. Ayam brand. Ayam is chicken, but they're selling sardines. Now, it's not associated at all, but it's doing so well because there's 100, probably it's about 100 years old or 80 or 90 years old product. So not necessarily. So I'm just trying to, and at the end, I will just tell you what is the strongest thing you need to do in order to make your trademark strong. So again, it's not associated product, but it's still doing well. So if you really like a name, go for it. Now the next line, click again, please. Okay, it must be appropriate for future expansion. That is why you see a lot of Malaysians, whenever they come up with a brand, sorry, you clicked it too soon. go back, yeah. Whenever they come up with a brand, they always like to make it look a bit French by saying le something, or make it a bit more Italian, you know, di putte, maybe a cream, and then they'll say di putte, le something, you know, just to give it a bit of an international feel so that when they go to the international market. But is that really necessary? I mean, it depends on the brand owner. It depends on the businessman. If he really feels want to do it, he can. But I can tell you a very, very well-known university who's doing so well overseas, a local university, but they've got such a big campus overseas, and I've actually protected their trademarks, not only in Malaysia, but also in Southeast Asia and also in Africa. And the brand is called Lim Kok Wing. You can't get any more Chinese than that. Lim Kok Wing University. He never changed the university to try to make it sound a bit more international. Lim Kok Wing University, and is doing so well in Africa. University Lim Kok Wing, yeah. So just to explain to you, if you really believe in a particular name, the most important thing you need to do is do a Google search. When you make a Google search, see whether the name is available or not. That's the most important thing you need to do, because in case you make a search and the name is already being used, you want to open up a restaurant and you want to call it ABC. And when you make a search, there is a restaurant ABC, maybe not in this state, but in another state. You need to think twice, because when you start using your name, they can come after you, and maybe they already have a trademark also protected. Another scenario, maybe when you make a Google, there's no ABC restaurant in Malaysia, but there may be an ABC restaurant in Singapore and Indonesia, maybe. Now, then again, you need to think twice, because if you want to expand your brand overseas, you might have a problem. So do you really want to get into that name in the beginning stage, or do you want to change names slightly? So that's one of the first things you need to do. Previously, you need to come to us, I mean, agents like us, to make some searches to see whether the name is available. But now with the Google, I mean, you know, the help of Google, you can just make a Google and you can see the businesses that's out there. Once you decide on a name, yes, of course, come to us and we will make a search and see whether anyone has also filed it in the patent office or trademark office, and we'll inform you accordingly. Another thing you need to know is a lot of people also sometimes have this impression, a word from a dictionary cannot be protected. I do not know whether any of you all have this impression as well. You cannot really protect the word from a dictionary because you didn't create it. Let me say something about that. I mean, one of the most, I'm using also an iPad here. I've got an iPhone. I mean, one of the most famous phones is an Apple phone. Apple is a word you find from dictionary. But you see, you're not selling apples. If you're selling fruits and you want to call it apple, it's difficult for you to get a trademark. But you're selling phones and you call it apple, it's possible. If you're selling a water filter and you call it diamond, it's not a problem. But if you sell diamonds and you call it a diamond, you can't, because it's too descriptive. So similarly, if you sell shoes and you call it nose, there's no problem. But you sell shoe and you call it shoe, there's an issue. Okay, so also understand that. I mean, not necessarily just because a word is in a dictionary. I mean, some have that impression. You cannot protect it, you can. But it should not be descriptive of the product that you're trying to sell. Okay, so first thing, I mean, as I said, when you get your name, the most important thing, if you really like your name, just make sure no one else is using the name. If someone else is using a name, you're going to have a bit of issues on it. Another thing I would like to just highlight over here is, I've got also many customers of mine who come to me and say, I have a distributorship of this particular product. I got it from India and I'm distributing it in Malaysia. Now I want to file a trademark for it. Now they're trying to be very smart. They want to do it because they want to hold the distributor later and say that, look, I mean, you cannot stop me from selling your products next time because I'm the owner of this trademark. So they will sometimes insist that they want the protection for the mark. I mean, once in a while, I mean, we'll tell them, I mean, it's not good for them to file because they're filing under bad faith, but it's filing. If the luck is good, they know. But if the principal owner of the trademark comes after, there's a good chance they will be able to get the mark back. No doubt it's going to cost them a bit of money, but they have got a good chance of getting it back. So that is also another reason why when you are expanding your business overseas, make sure you have your name protected overseas. Otherwise, the cost of filing may be a fraction. You know, it might cost you maybe about 6,000 to 8,000 to protect your trademark overseas. I mean, if there's an objection, maybe it goes up. And when you have, if you do not protect yourself and someone else files the mark first, to get the mark back, it may cost you about 60,000, 80,000 just to go to court and fight it out. So it's a much cheaper process to actually file the application overseas when you're expanding. Once you know your trademark is having a bit of traction, make sure you protect your trademark. You have to. And then when you file your trademark, it will protect you for 10 years, and every 10 years you need to renew. Okay, your next slide, please. The next protection I'm going to talk about is industrial design. So as I said, all of this falls under intellectual property. So under intellectual property, you have trademarks that protects the brand, the name of a company. Industrial design protects the shape. Now, I also have many who will come and tell me, what's the use of protecting the shape? Because if someone just tweaks the shape a bit, it's not protected anymore. Yes, you're right, but in certain industries, the shape is important. Like the car industries, the watch industry, most watches work the same. But the difference would be the brand and also the design of the watch. Even the handphones, you can see, I mean, just a slight tweak. I mean, Nokia might have a sharper edge, iPhone will have a more circular edge. So there's a very slight difference, but that slight difference is important because you will be able to see the difference between an iPhone and also the other brands. So in certain industries, it's important for one to protect the industrial design. I'll also give you an example of an Indian company, Alter Business. I mean, he's just doing Alter Business. It's called Divine Homes. See, I mean, in the beginning, when he protected his trademark and all that, Mr. Sundram, the client of mine, he did not, in the beginning stage, realize the importance of also protecting the design of his Alter Home, because he just thought, I mean, it's Alter Home, it's a design, no one will really copy. Eventually, many started copying his design, and they were also selling it, calling a different name, but they were taking his design. He worked hard to come up with that particular design, but the others were also copying his design. So now he's realized the importance of also filing industrial design, and he's protected the industrial design as well, apart from the trademark only. So industrial design can be important depending on the industry you're in. It can be important. There's certain industries, I might also tell you, don't waste your time, don't file an industrial design. But there's some cases where it's important. Like the furniture you see over there, the lips that looks like Angelina Jolie's lips, the big, huge red chair. So that is a particular design, and I could have protected it for somebody so that others will not be able to come up with a similar design chair. Okay, the next slide, please. Copyright protects any artistic work that you may come up with. I mean, in case you come up with a painting, you come up with a drawing, or you come up with a song, all that is protected under copyright. Now, the advantage of copyright over trademarks and also industrial design or patents, the others you need to go to the patent office and you must register. If you don't register, it's first to file at times. You know, so if you don't register, then you won't have protection. But where copyright is concerned, it is not. As long as you can show the earliest date of creation, you have protection for it. And the protection is also very long. It's 50 years from the death of the author. They're even extending it to about 75 years after this. That is why Michael Jackson is still making money from his estate. I mean, he's not making it, but his estate is making money from all his work because of copyright. Because even after the death of Michael Jackson, 50 years after that, you can still get royalty. I think the estate of Elvis Presley is still making millions from it. So copyright has got limited protection, not so much, but in certain cases it's enough. I mean, like, you know, when you want to protect a song, but the difference is you do not have to go and register. You can automatically, as long as you can show the earliest date of creation, you can have registration, you can have protection for copyright. But if you want to voluntarily go into the patent office and protect your copyright, no issue as well. And it's fairly cheap. Next slide, please. Okay, another important aspect of intellectual property is patents, but not many companies think. I mean, as I said, all companies would have a trademark to protect. Every single company, every single business, but not necessarily every business will have a patent. But if actual of them having something that they may not even see. You may improve. We have many OEMs over here, manufacturers, OEMs, and they've been doing OEMs for past, 30, 40 years. And they've improved the mechanism of doing something. For example, a glove manufacturer. And then over the years, the glove manufacturer, they've tweaked the process a bit in order to make the process a bit better, because they realized by doing this, the glove is getting stuck. So I must just tweak it a bit and I'll solve the problem. So sometimes some of the OEMs have improved on certain processes, but they fail to protect it. When they fail to protect it, they're not able to stop another competitor from doing the same. So when somebody in that factory is working over there, then he sees, okay, these guys have improved in this manner. He goes and works in another place. He might even take this know-how and share with the other side. So if the factory has protected it as a patent, then he would be able to stop anyone else from coming up with something similar. If I can give you an example of sometimes even a small thing can even be protected. I believe the Indians, the audience are predominantly Indians over here because it's by KLSICCI. You have the kutu velaka. Whenever you light the kutu velaka, the lamp, whenever you light it, it becomes dark at the edge. So one of my clients actually came up with a mechanism to overcome that. He just placed a very simple tip on top of the edge, and that will prevent the edge of the kutu velaka or the lamp from becoming blackened. So that's an advantage because you're not dirtying the lamp, which can be expensive at times. So you file a patent for it. And now there's actually others who are really looking into something so simple as that. I mean, when he first wanted to file it and he came and saw me, he was also reluctant to even talk to us because he thought that is something so simple that he will not be able to find. But actually we managed to get it protected, and others are actually infringing him online and he's stopping them now. So for an invention to be protectable, it has to be new, it has to be inventive, and it has to be industrially applicable. I don't get too much into all of this. If you all have anything that you feel is a bit advantageous, or you've tweaked something, or you come up with a new application, you can always talk to us and we will see how we will be able to protect it for you. You can also protect a product, a process, or even a new use. A new use, for example, Panadol, everyone knows when you take Panadol, it's to relieve headache. But if someone comes up with a new use of Panadol where you feed chicken Panadol and you can fatten chicken by feeding them Panadol, you have a new use for Panadol. I would be able to protect that new use also. So apart from product, process, even a use can be protected as a patent. The next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, in Malaysia, we have something called utility innovation. One should also take advantage of that. Initially, I said for a patent, you need to have 3 criteria. It must be new, it must be inventive, and also industrially applicable. But where a UI is concerned, as long as something is new, if your idea is new, you would be able to protect it, even if it's not inventive. Let me give you one example, and then I'll just end this. Say if all chairs in the world had 3 legs. Just imagine all the chairs in the world had 3 legs. And someone now comes up and says, I've got a chair with 4 legs, okay? Now, would that constitute into invention? Sorry, it's the other way around, okay? All chairs, all chairs has 4 legs. Now, if someone comes in and says, I've got a chair with 3 legs, is that an invention? Now, the answer is yes, that can actually be an invention because, you just take out 1 leg, there's a possibility you might drop, So you have to move the legs accordingly in order for it to work. So even if it is going to be questionable as a patent, because is it inventive? Because anyone could have figured that out. By just taking out 1 leg, I can have 3 legs. That is, it is a bit questionable whether it is inventive or not.
Satish, what has happened?
I think he had a glitch. He went out. He'll come soon, I guess.
Okay.
Sorry, I lost you for a while. Am I in?
Yeah, you're in, Mohan.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I suddenly got lost for a bit.
Carry on.
Yeah.
Let's take over now.
Can I continue?
Yes, please continue, please.
I'll continue. Okay, sure. Okay, as I said, sari is something very difficult for one to actually wear. Now, they've come up with like a ready-made sari now, where it becomes like a skirt and you can just tie it like a skirt and then wear sari. So it's easy. Even those who are not familiar with tying sari would be able to tie it because it's something so simple. The first person to do it spoke to a patent agent. They could have got it protected. And you would have been able to stop anyone else from coming up with something similar. It would have been such a fantastic invention. But unfortunately, I don't think it was protected. So nobody really benefited from it. There's a hijab where they have like, a huge, I've actually done a patent on a hijab, where a ready-made hijab, but it is a very elaborate hijab, which will take a long time for one to actually fit, to wear it, put it on. But because they came up with a mechanism or design and also the stitching, which made it easy. So you can have an elaborate hijab, but you can wear it immediately. So a ready to wear hijab can actually be protected as a patent as well. And that has been done. And we even filed it in US, just giving you an example. Okay, the next slide, please. I just want to also give you an example of some of the patents that people have protected, because you will be surprised if this can be protected, even what you have may be able to be protected as well. This is an ultimate weight loss program. I'm not joking. This was actually filed in the US. There's a patent number. It was granted also. And what they claim is this is an ultimate weight loss program where you would definitely lose weight over here. Basically, you need to fix a tube from your nose to your stomach, take a syringe, push air into your nose, so the air will go into your stomach and it will fill you up. So they call this the ultimate weight loss program. Now, does it really work or not? The patent office is not bothered about that, but as long as it is new and it's inventive, they will protect it. Okay, the next slide, I think all the adults over here, just a quick one, the next slide, please. It's a male chastity belt. I think a wife didn't really trust the husband so much. They actually went and filed a male chastity belt out there. And, and there's some mechanism. Okay, now there's another one, bringing the dead back to life. Can you go back? No, the next slide, next slide. The next slide, please. Sorry, next slide, please. Yeah, so this is another invention which was actually filed, and this was filed probably more than 100 years back, where someone actually filed something from bringing the dead back to life. I don't want to elaborate too much on this, but I'm just trying to say there's so many ridiculous patents out there that has been filed. So you will never know. Sometimes you may have some good ideas. Do not waste it. And this is a good time for you to file, because MDG has also come up with a fund where they're supporting you. Now, I'm just going to go and touch on the second part of my talk. Can you pass this? The next slide, please. Next slide. And the next one, next one, next one. Next one. Okay, now let me just touch on this. I mean, this is what I think everyone is waiting for. Under MDG now, the expanded scope, they've also included IP as so if you spend any amount, 100% of the amount that you spend, it's not a matching grant, it's nothing of that sort. Whatever you spend now, it will be given. It will be given back to you. So you have to spend it first, you put a claim in, and you will be able to get the fund back. Now, the important thing is for you to make sure your company qualifies as a MATRADE member. So you need to make sure your company has 60% ownership by a Malaysian. You must register yourself with MATRADE, and it must be more than 1 year old, and it also should not be a dormant company. So as long as you meet all these criteria, they have allocated a certain amount of fund, it's 300,000 actually, that you can use during the lifetime of the company for various purposes. So now they've also included IP as one of the expense that you can also claim back. So it's mainly for IPs overseas. Only when you file IPs overseas, be it trademarks or even patents, when you file this overseas, you will be able to claim back. Okay. Now, do you have any questions on this? Now, can I have the next slide? So these are some of the salient points that you need to look at, applicable for trademarks, patents, designs, but not for Malaysia filings, but anything outside of Malaysia, any country outside of Malaysia. The filing of the application activities must be carried out before 31st of December. And from the time you file, when you want to make a claim, you must do it within 1 month of the particular activity has taken place. So if you have filed the application now and made a search, you need to make the claim within a month. So as I said, it's only eligible for registered MATRADE members. So you must make sure your company is registered with MATRADE. So please make sure, because if not, you will not be able to get the claim. Allowable expenses, it includes all IP application and registration related activities for this particular year. Whatever you spend in this particular year, that's what you will be able to claim out. It's all on reimbursed basis. That means a company must pay first and then you will be able to claim. And it's 100% of whatever that you have spent, you will be able to get back. So this is the main points of the MDG grant. And this is the best time. I mean, the government has now expanded. I mean, everyone is having a bit of trouble with businesses because of what is happening out there with COVID. But now with this, if you're really looking into expanding overseas, this is the best time for you to actually protect your brand and also your technologies or your applications that you may have overseas. So that next time, if someone is interested in doing business with you, they can even license or franchise your brand from you. So these are some of the
I think there's a technical glitch. Mr. Mohan, are you there? Hi, Mr. Mohan. I think Satish, you allow him in again.
Okay, sir. He went out, waiting for him to come in.
While waiting for Mr. Mohan, I think there are a number of questions in the chat box here. Okay, there is about from Mr. Alfred So at Fellerman on it is 100% claim on the amount paid to register such trademark. I think this clarification on 100% grant will be explained by Mr. Mohan. What does it mean? Because we have also circulated the flyer about 100% grant. There was some earlier, there was some queries to us directly on this matter. So we will explain to you further. And then from Mr. Michael Yap, Greenhouse, can Mr. Mohan explain the breakdown for IP? Example, search fee. Okay, I think he will definitely be transparent on that. Satish, is he in?
Not yet, sir. We're waiting for him.
Well, you can also post more questions so that for the benefit of all the participants, we have over 65 participants here, all are IP enthusiasts that would like to know further, I think, about this intellectual property for SMEs on this market development grant. Well, yeah, Mr.
I'm back. I'm back, Nivas. I'm back, Nivas. Nivas.
Yeah, carry on.
Sorry, Nivas. I don't know what happened.
I was just going
keep leaving the meeting.
Yeah, just carry on on this. Mohan, you go on first.
Yeah, I just want the questions because I've actually finished. I've just touched on IP. I've explained the advantages, and then I've also explained the salient points on the grant. So I would like to get some questions from the audience.
I think Mohan, I think your next slide is your contact details, is it?
Yes, yeah. My next slide is my contact details here. Yeah.
Okay, now let's go through the questions. The first question is Mr. Mohan from Mr. Alfred Fellerman on is it 100% claim on the amount paid to register such trademark? I think I clarified it earlier. You can clarify this further?
Yeah, I must make this very clear. It is for 100% of what you spend this year. That means if you're filing an application and you make a search and you also file the application, they will give you 100% of the search fee and also the filing fee. Okay, so this you'll get 100%. Now, if your trademark, I mean, the process is quite fast, and you get an office section within a few months, and you can reply to office section, and then you would also be able to claim for the office section as well. So it really depends. I mean, it depends on how the process of your trademark application, but it's only for what you spend this year. In case your registration fee comes next year, then you will not be able to claim for the registration. You can only claim for the search and filing, but not necessarily registration or trademark fee.
Okay, but then is it feasible to be everything to be done in next 6 months, Mr. Mohan? Because it's already July now.
No, it's not so easy. In certain countries, you may be able to. So if I can understand which countries they want, I mean, you can take this a bit offline. If someone is really interested, you can always talk to me. Because some countries, you may be able to get your registration within 6 months. So in that way, then in a way, you would probably be able to get 100% of whatever you're spending. So it really depends. So you need to see the countries that they are interested in. Now, that is for trademarks. Now, we can also go for patents. Now, patent, the bulk of the cost is the first cost, which is the drafting fee. So in case you need to prepare the drafting fee and also the filing fee, you would be, and the translation fee is also a very expensive process. So you will be able to get this cost reimbursed because that will be the first stage. I'm talking about patents. If someone is wanting to protect a technology, the first stage cost is the most expensive, and that is already, if that can be reimbursed 100%, that itself is a big saving. So this is really for serious, clients who are serious about filing the trademarks or patents overseas, because they also don't want it to be abused, where someone is just filing for the sake of filing. If they're really serious about going overseas, this is a big help for them.
Okay, and then we have a question from Mr. Michael Yap, Greenhouse. He requested on the breakdown for IP, for example, search fee, filing fee, and other miscellaneous. Probably you can give.
No, it really depends on the countries. It depends on the countries. So various countries have different fees. So
okay,
if you're looking at anything like Southeast Asia, you're looking at, you're probably looking at about less than 10K. Anything Middle East, you can go beyond.
I think we have lost Mr. Mohan again.
On the countries, yeah. And you file in Europe, it's even more expensive because in Europe you have a grouping, and you file a community trademark application, a CTM application, it'll be even a more expensive process. So it is best for them to write to us, and we'll be able to give them a breakdown.
Okay, and then next question.
In Malaysia, sorry, if I can just touch in Malaysia, although this grant doesn't cover Malaysia, but Malaysia, it's fairly cheap. I mean, in Malaysia, you can get it protected for about 2,500 ringgit in Malaysia. Okay.
Okay, I think that answers Mr. Thomas's question. Grant only for IP outside Malaysia. What about in Malaysia? So it covers, right? Okay, next one is, do we have to register for MDG again if we are existing MDG users? I think that is straightforward.
No, the answer no.
We can't hear you, sir.
I don't know why you just, okay. I think you can hear me now.
Yes, yes.
Sorry about this. I'm really very sorry. Okay. No, once you are already a member, you will have a member number. So that's fine. But what is important is you need to see whether you still have the funds. Because I told you they're giving about 300,000 per company. If you have used up all the funds previously for your exhibitions, for taking part in trade fairs, you may not have enough money for this. So you got to see how much you have available. So that's important. But if you're already registered, that's good.
So the first step is for all the participants here, for your knowledge, you need to first register as a MATRADE member. Online application is there. We will post the online application link here. And firstly, you got to register as a MATRADE member, get it approved. Then you can apply for this MDG. Okay.
And MATRADE is very helpful.
Yes.
Yeah, MATRADE is very helpful.
The application process takes about 3 to 5 days. You will get your company approved.
That's exactly.
Your company,
within a week,
your company should be also a Sandran Berhad company. I believe, Mr. Mohan.
Yes, you're right. It must be a Sandran Berhad company. Yes,
yeah,
it must be, and 60% must be owned by Malaysian.
Yeah, 60% must be owned by Malaysian. And then the next one is next question is we have from Ms. Leotan. I saw some already have TM on their logo, but eventually still converted to copyright on the logo. Is that the necessary to convert from TM to copyright on a particular and same logo? There's a confusion between copyright and TM.
Yeah, so I mean, basically where your logo is concerned, it should be a TM. And when you register, when you go and register this with the patent office or trademark office, and they approve your mark, then you will get a registration. You can change your TM to R. So whenever you see R, it's actually much stronger. That means it's a registered trademark, not just a trademark at filing stage, but it's already registered. So copyright is not necessary. I mean, copyright is mainly for artistic work that you've created. It should not be included, I mean, not necessarily for your brand. So where the brand is concerned, that's because of a bit of confusion, but where the brand is concerned, basically you put TM, and if it's a service mark, you can include SM, and once it's registered, you change it to R.
Okay,
Copyright is for copyright work. Yeah.
That clarifies to Ms. Leotan. Mr. Sagar has a question. Can a product made out of outsourced operation be IP registered?
Okay, so the answer is possible. I think they're talking about OEMs because they're doing something for another company. Now, if they are doing OEMs and they improve on it slightly, and they go and present it to the other party, and they say, now I've got a slightly better improved version, which is going to be even cheaper for you. Would you like to use this? And if they are interested, you may be able to license your technology out to them. So the answer is maybe. I cannot say for sure, but yes, if you have an improvement, I would be able to protect it. But whether the other party will still want to buy your improved version, I'm not so sure. That's something we can talk about. But yes, there are many IPs out there that
Sagar,
you may
are
not
you
be
here?
able to.
How do you want to clarify further? Is this what? Is this what you wanted to hear from Mr. Mohan? Sagar, are you there? Okay, we'll move to the next one. How about registration in China from Alfred So? You do for China as well.
Registration in China? Okay. Now, in China, one very important thing that you need to know is getting registration in China is not easy for simple reason where trademark is concerned, because they file so many applications. When you put a name in, and we've done this many times, we've taken a name for our clients and gone and tried to file in China. At the search stage, they'll come back and say, sorry, this name is already taken. Because they find so many applications in China, most of the names at times taken. So that is one of the issues in China. So before you file in China, please make a search and see whether the name is available. And only then you file, because otherwise it's going to be a costly affair.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mohan, on that. And then next one is from Mr. Matthias Liu. Trademark that was applied in 2020 but not approved yet. Can the application still use under this MATRADE grant?
Hello?
Okay, good question. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Because you see, you file in 2020, but now this year you might have the office action, or you might have the registration coming in. So yes, you would be able to claim for the office action or for the registration part of it. Yes, the answer is yes. Even if it's a 2020 application, because there's a cost incurred this year for it.
Okay, good.
So yes.
Okay, and then next from Mr. Sien Chung. Mr. Mohan, my IPO fully embrace. Is my IPO fully embracing the MATRADE protocol? I understand it's a one-stop mechanism for us to fill up our IPO.
Okay, you have something called MATRADE protocol as well. I mean, Malaysia is part of MATRADE protocol, so you would be able. Malaysia just joined as a MATRADE protocol country. So when you file an application through MATRADE protocol, and you would be able to designate a few other countries, so you can have technically one filing to cover a few countries. There's some pros and cons in it. Some do opt for it, but some choose to just go into individual countries. So yes, my IPO, our patent office or trademark office, does accept MATRADE protocol applications. We are a member country of MATRADE protocol. We would be able to actually file through. So you can file one application to cover several countries, but again, it depends on the clients, because if the client's only looking at filing in Malaysia and maybe another 2 more countries, MATRADE protocol may not be the solution. So we would advise them based on what is the expansion plan and also on their budget. And then we will tell them what's the best way for them to go forward. Not necessarily MATRADE protocol is a solution for every client, not necessary.
Noted on that. And then I think next one is, can the web page or domain name be registered as trademark?
Yeah, so if you have a domain name, yes, you would be able to protect it as trademark. You can protect it as a domain name, but if it also, you want to distinguish it even further, you can also protect that, because the domain name is going to be the distinguishing factor for you. You can protect that as a trademark as well.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mohan, on that. Well, there are no questions in chat box. Can we have interactive questions from our members on the floor? We have over 55 members
So
now.
just to explain the domain name, if I can just touch on the domain name again,
Yes.
right? You see, the domain name, you will have the predominant name in between, and then you'll have .net, .com, .my. You don't, I would suggest, don't take the .net, .com, .my, unless if it's really important, you take it, because you may, be unnecessarily limiting yourself if you just protect the domain as a .net.
I understand that. Okay, I think the information provided was very knowledgeable by Mr. Mohan in his presentation and also in the Q&A. Probably our participants here can actually ask your interactive questions now, where we can open the floor.
Mohan, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. Hi. Yes, I can hear you.
Right. I had the question about outsource just now. What I meant was, I'm right now having a product I make out of India and import it in and distribute in Malaysia. So I'm not a manufacturer. I'm using my outsource operation to manufacture those parts for me. Can those kind of items be protected through IP?
No, you can't, because it's not yours, right? You're using another person's products, right?
My brand. My brand.
Oh, no, your brand. Sorry,
My brand.
I'm just getting a bit, I'm getting a bit confused. Because brand, yes, you can protect your brand, but I thought you said the technology, the patent. If you're using another person's patent,
No.
Okay. If you're talking about brand, if your brand, yes, you can. The answer is yes, you would be able to.
Thank you.
If it's your brand, yes, you can. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Mr. Sagar, I hope that clarifies. Any other questions from the floor? Okay, I have a question from our Vice President, Dr. Nawa. Are all these grants only for export purposes?
No, it's not so much for export purposes. It's for protecting your trademarks overseas. So whether you are exporting into the country now or you're going to export in the future, that's fine. I mean, even if you export in the future, but this is mainly for protecting your trademarks overseas. Not so much just for.
So basically, if I'm in an industry where it is not related to export, I can register as a MATRADE member now, and then apply for
example.
grant.
Yeah, because for example, right, you have a restaurant, but you're not really going to export anything. But then there is a possibility you might open up a restaurant overseas with the same name, because you build a restaurant as a name. You might want to open it up overseas, or if you do so well over here, you might want to franchise the restaurant also overseas. So the name is also important for you to protect. Not necessarily you must be exporting something over there.
I think that clarifies very well. This is not only exclusively for export purposes.
Exporters. Yeah.
It also covers for non-exporters who are interested to protect or expand for future expansion of your business.
It's for expansion of business. Yeah, expansion.
Well, I think that is very fruitful information. On top of that, do we have any other questions from our participants? I have a question, Mr. Mohan. I think you mentioned just now the lifetime limit for a company is 300,000.
Yeah.
How about this 5 new scope? What is the cap limit for this 5 new scope?
So for each application, you have a limit of 30,000 per application. Because I said, I mean, in certain countries, it's very expensive. If you want to file this in Middle East, it's a very expensive process. So you have a scope, you have a cap of 30,000 per application. But in total, you would be able to claim up to 300,000.
So I think this is a very important information that a grant of 30,000 maximum is allowable in each and every scope here, right?
Yes.
So,
which is sufficient for most countries, which is sufficient.
Okay, so those who have further information on this IP, you can contact Mr. Mohan as his information given earlier. Even the secretary, I think you can post Mr. Mohan's email address and contact number. Those who are interested can take it offline with Mr. Mohan directly and deal with him commercially directly. And if there is there any other questions? Okay, there is a question. I have a sari boutique. Can I patent my company logo since I would like to open it in another country?
Yes, you can trademark it. You can trademark your company logo. That's why I gave the explanation earlier.
Yeah.
When it comes to brands, you trademark. When it comes to technology, that's when you file a patent for it. Yeah. So the answer to her is yes, you can trademark
So
her name.
for an artistic, I think you actually copyright. For a technology, you patent, and then for a brand, you trademark, right?
Yes,
these are
you trademark. Yes, you're right. That's exactly.
Three key areas in intellectual property.
That one should
Yeah.
understand. You.
And then how quick is this MDG claim? I think this one is
They just started last. They
Yeah.
just opened up last week. So my clients have just submitted the application in. So how quick the claim is going to be, it's subject to be seen.
probably
yeah, but
I can actually add up here because we have claimed for our chamber and also our own SMEs who have gone for overseas trade fairs. I think that the process takes like not more than 3 months, 2 to 3 months. You submit your
Agreed.
application and
Yes.
the documentation, proof of documentation, and then there is a clarification of MATRADE. And after the clarification is actually addressed, the process takes about not more than 3 months.
You're correct. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's for the other. Mainly, they've been paying out in that manner.
So this is Mr. Mohan. This is actually 100% reimbursement. Huh? It's not like they claim
100% reimbursement of what you spent for this year. For what have you spent for this year? Yeah.
So which means that they have to pay for the services of the IP consultant, and then they claim it from MATRADE to be reimbursed to their company.
Yes, correct.
It is not like you pay. It's not like the consultant apply on behalf of the company and get that paid directly.
No, it's not like that.
Okay.
They pay and then they will go to MATRADE and then they'll be able to reimburse back and the payment goes back to the company.
Okay, so this is purely reimbursement, right?
Yes, 100% reimbursement. Yeah.
Mohan, can I ask you one question?
Yes, Mr. Selvam.
Yeah. Okay, can we take this advantage? Like even we don't have a history of doing business in any outside Malaysia. Can we take the advantage this time to register to MATRADE new and then
yes,
apply for this and then get it prepared for this year using this 100% grant? Is it okay? You don't have a history in other business in other country. You can do it also.
Yes, you would be able to, because you would be able to. I mean, according to them, I mean, you still would be able to, because in future expansion, you still have future expansion plans. So you're actually protecting it because you want to have future expansion plans. So
that means what you are trying to say, all participants here, there's opportunity for everyone to do so, correct?
As long as they are 60% owned by Malaysian company, registered with MATRADE, and they're not dormant company, they would be able to.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah. Anything else?
I think there's nothing much here. We already, the program today is very informative, and we had two crucial information, especially on the IP, and we got a clarification on what is patenting, about what is trademarking, and also copyright, and also how to capitalize or leverage on the MDG's newly incepted expanded scope, which covers for the IP registration for international market, as well as the other 4. So for those who have further information, you can actually contact Mr. Mohan or contact the chamber. I think secretary, you can put the chamber contact details as well. And then we will take it on from there, and we coordinate on your clarification, as well as to ensure that you can also apply for this subsidy to actually prepare your company for expansion. Times are bad now. We have to take a lot of crucial steps to actually start getting ready for the next new norm that is going to be that we are actually in now. When the market opens up full-fledged, I think there's going to be a really competitiveness among businesses. So that is where we have an edge over another company if we have our branding protected or also patented or all that, you see. So if there is nothing much, I think we have reached the last part of our program today, which is, are we having any closing, Mr. Selvam? You want to? No, huh? Thank you, Mr. Selvam. I think thank you so much to all our participants. we had up to 78 participants earlier, and I think we still have 50 participants towards the end of the program. We thank you. We value your time today on this public holiday to actually gather to come and show your keen interest to gather a lot of fruitful information that the government is actually sharing now for all the SMEs to capitalize from. So KLCK will continue organizing a lot of programs to disseminate a lot of information that is now under the PERMULE stimulus aid packages, as well as what is out there in the market, so that SMEs, MSMEs, especially the micro businesses or the startups, can actually look forward to support their business and subsidize their business. So thank you so much to all the participants who have take your time here today, and see you in next KLCK's program, which we will disseminate to all the members again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.